Why are so many people having problems sleeping these days?
I think we tend to blame things like caffeine and screens and really lots of different things that we can do as behaviors. But really, what's underlying all of those is that we're spending more time in an activated sympathetic nervous system state, which is, it's not quite fight or flight, but it can feel pretty close to it. And so we're struggling to sleep because we need to find more time in a calm and restful state during the day, and then learn how to bring that in at night so that we can get to sleep and we can stay asleep more deeply.
We tend to blame our racing minds for insomnia, but what is the part of our body in that?
Well, our bodies and our minds are totally not separate things. We know that as therapists, and we know that on an intuitive level, that when our minds are very active, our bodies aren't usually relaxed. We might notice a racing heart rate. We might notice some tension in our muscles. And when we start to gently move the tension out of the muscles, when we start to breathe more expansively and more slowly, heart rate comes down, the body feels safer and more expansive, and the thoughts tend to slow down and be easier to untangle. So mind over matter is fine, but it doesn't always work. When we start to change the actual felt experience in our bodies, we change dramatically from the bottom up.
Uh, how, oh, sorry, that's, I'll cut this. How important do you think overall sleep patterns are in keeping people healthy and positive about their lives?
It's really important that we have enough sleep and enough rest of the right kinds. It doesn't mean that we all need to have 8 hours of uninterrupted, unbroken sleep in order to be healthy and in order to be well. What we need is we need a period of deep body sleep, it's what I call non-REM sleep. And we need a period of brain reorganizing, mood boosting REM sleep. Now, if we're drinking loads of caffeine, or if we're restricting our own sleep in some way, if we have shift work, we've got to find ways of getting enough rest. And that rest during the day, I don't mean long naps. I mean, doing some restoring practices, doing some gentle meditation, some breath work to down regulate our nervous system during the day. That can actually put a bit of energy back on the grid so that we're not so exhausted, and that we can actually feel like our nervous system can come down. We have less cortisol and adrenaline, and then sleep later becomes a lot easier. So it's a kind of whole system thing that throughout the day, we're starting to manage our nervous systems. And then we get the type of rest and the type of sleep that we need more easily, even if it has a different pattern to what you expect.
Why is yoga included in your program? Is it about the exercise or the breathing or the meditation?
So one of the reasons that I think yoga is so important in repairing our ability to sleep is that it does give us access to a range of tools that then enable us to find different states within ourselves. So specifically, when we get activated or tense, our muscles will tighten, our breathing will, either we won't be able to feel ourselves breathing, or our breathing will become shallow or tight. So as soon as we start to reverse that, we have access to a different state. So it's amazing to have the ability to manage that in yourself. I'm nervous, I'm going to breathe a little bit more deeply, right? Oh, I'm feeling really lethargic. Let me take more deep inhalations so that I can feel more wakeful. So yoga practices help you to pull tension out of the body or to feel more solid. They help you to learn how you use your breath to manage what you're experiencing. And meditation and some of those quieter inward turning practices can be really helpful. For example, helping you to keep your awareness inward so that you can maybe just notice your thoughts as sounds are coming up, that you're having thoughts, and you can still access that restful state. So all these things are really useful tools in repairing our ability to sleep.
If you could make one suggestion to help people sleep better, what would that be?
In order to sleep better, the one big overarching suggestion that I have, and this might be difficult initially, is to stop thinking of yourself like a machine that switches from on to off. Put in place throughout your day moments where you step back and you breathe and you notice what's happening in your body so that you can manage agitation, relaxation, maybe feeling a little shut down, and give yourself the ability to move when you need to move, breathe when you need to breathe, and rest when you need to rest, so that you're not on and then expecting yourself to be immediately off. And that's a process. And that's why I've written the book and why I teach therapists and why I work with individuals. But that's the biggest thing. Learn how to notice your body and give it what it needs so that you can really rest deeply.